Hi, this is Dave Chenault with Skylight Systems, and in this video it's part 2 of our look at how we manage security profiles and permissions in SideKick365 xRM Enterprise. So in the first video we went ahead and created a new site, a team site underneath the root of our site collection, and we broke permissions so that it had unique permissions. We went ahead and set up 3 SharePoint groups. One was xRM permission owners, and that had full control. We added Alan Steiner to that group, as well as the admin for the site. Those users are able to set permissions and add profiles within the system. We then created 2 more groups, an Alan S. read and an Alan S. edit group. The edit group, as you would expect, is able to edit anything that has the Alan S. security profile set on it, but they cannot set a security profile on any new items unless they belong to that xRM permission owners. So Amy, Diane, and Brad should not be able to set or manage security profiles in the system. We put Amy into the edit group, if I remember right, and Diane into the read group, but we'll double check that. And then Brad, we had him added to the site as a member, but he's not in either of the read or edit groups. So we would expect he would not see any records that have the Alan S. profile applied. So let's take a look. We're logged in right now as Amy Alberts at the USA site, and I'm going to pop into xRM Enterprise right now. Let's see what Amy can see and do in the site. So I'm just waiting for it now to come up, and what you'll see when it comes up is that when she goes into the accounts, we'll see 2 accounts here. We're going to see account 1 and account 2, and that's because account 1 has the Alan S. profile and account 2 doesn't have any profile assigned to it, right? As a matter of fact, we can modify the view to see that now. So let's go in to modify this view, and let's set that security permission field so that we can see it. I think it's called, let's see what it's called there. It's called profile. And we'll add that in to the view so we can see what profiles have been set. So you can see here that we have the profile Alan S on this and no profile. So when we don't have a profile on an account or contact or a opportunity, everybody can see it. And if they've been added to the members group, they can edit it as well if they're just a member of the site. But if they're a read only, then they just be able to read it. So we're in as Amy right now. Let's go take a look at this account, and let's see what we can do here. Now you'll notice I can see the edit is highlighted, and I'll go ahead and hit that. And it lets me go on in there. I have the save button activated, so that's a good sign. And let's add in some information here. I'll do a phone number. And I'll try and set the profile, but wait, I don't get a drop down. So Amy can't set profiles, but she can edit because she was part of that edit group that we set up with Alan S. profile. So let's save it. And what we will see here is that Amy has now added information into that record with the profile 123. Let's go back to accounts. And if I go to account 2, I should be able to edit there as well because there's no profile set. And if I'm Amy, I'll try and set one, but I can't. But I can go in here. I had done a little test before, so I'll make this one 45678 on this phone number here. Okay, so now I have been able to edit that record as well. Let's go back to the home. And I want to go into profiles as Amy and see what I can do. So I can see them. But it doesn't let me add anything in the profile. You see it just kind of spit me right back out when I tried to add one, or even if I hit that new button. So Amy can see and edit items that have the Alan S profile, but she can't set any profiles or modify them because she's not part of that xRM permission owners group that had full control on the site. So that's pretty interesting. Let's now go in, we'll log out of this, and we'll log in next as Diane P. We'll take a look at that and see what she can do. So I'm going to sign out, and I'll go ahead and close this down, and I'll open up the window again. And now I'm going to go back to that site. This time I'll log in as Diane P. So let's see if I can do that. There we go. Oops, let's try that again. I think I typed it in twice. So it's just taking a second here to go in. When I record on my laptop, sometimes it slows down a lot. So it's coming on in, and it's going to hopefully give me a screen to log in. And this time I'm going to go in as Diane P. And I'll log in here. Let's make sure I typed it all right. Looks good to me. And let's go on into the system now. So now I'm going in as Diane P into the app, and she had just the read access. So let's go look at the accounts again that we set up. And she should see two, because she can read account 1 and account 2 has no profile on it, right? So let's go into account 1 and try and edit it. Let's see what happens when we do that. She can't edit. So she only has the read access, which is what we want. And so what it's showing here is, can she go in and add an account? Let's see. Now she is able to add an account because she is part of the member group, but if you'll notice, she can't pick a profile. So because she's not a member of that XRM security group called the XRM Permissions Owners with full control, she can only create accounts, opportunities, and contacts that everybody can see. Okay, so that's one thing to keep in mind as you're designing who can do what in the system. Okay, so far so good. Now let's go in as Brad, and let's see what Brad can see in the system, because if you remember, we added Brad as a member, but he was not able to be, well, he was just not added as a member of the edit or the read for Alan S. So what we'd expect is when we come in as Brad, we'll only see account 2. We won't see account 1 because he doesn't have permission to see that, because he's not part of the read or edit group of the Alan S security profile. So let's log out as Diane. We'll get out of here. It'll be just a second. And then what we'll do is we'll come in now as Brad. I'll shut that down. Let's go back in here. And now I'll log in as Brad and see what we can see. So hopefully this is starting to all make sense as you see how we set it up and how those settings are now affecting what people can do. So here comes Brad. And then let's get him in here. Okay, so now I'm coming in the system as Brad, and I want to see what I can do in the app as him. You can see here I am Brad. Now when I come into SideKick, I'm going to go take a look at accounts, and let's see what we can see as Brad. Well, guess what? We only see account 2. We don't see account 1 at all. And that's because he was not assigned as a person that was part of the read or the edit group in the LNS profile. But he can come in and he can edit this opportunity, or I'm sorry, this account. He can add opportunities, etc. to it, no problem at all. It'll take just a minute here. And he'll have the save button as you'd expect. And he can do all the things you'd want to do because there is no profile, but he cannot set profiles because he's not part of that XRM permissions owners group that we set up. So we've looked at 3 different users. One that was part of the edit group in the LNS profile. She could go in and edit, add in data, but she could not set a security profile or even manage the profiles. That was Amy. Then Diane was just part of the read group. She could only read, she could not edit, but she could see accounts 1 and 2. And then we had Brad, who was not part of either the edit or the read group in the LNS profile. He only sees account 2 because there is no profile associated with this at all. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go in as Alan S. He's part of that special XRM permissions owners. We're going to assign a profile to account 2, and then we'll come back in as Brad to finish up the demo to see what Brad sees after a profile has been set on account 2 by Alan. So let's go ahead and log out. A few more steps to go, but again, hopefully you're seeing how all this glues together. And as you build up your different security groups, you have different profiles with edit and read capabilities that you apply. And I will go over the implications of all this at the very end of this demo. So now I've signed out. Let's go back in now as Alan this time. Okay, so here comes Alan S. And I'll go on in the system here. And let's save it. Okay, so now we're coming in as Alan. And I want to go in and I want to see, can I set up a profile? Which the answer I know will be yes. So maybe we'll skip that part of it. But he can set up profiles, he can edit profiles, but more importantly, he can assign profiles into existing accounts or as he creates new accounts. So let's do that. And he does that through the edit or the create. So we're coming in the system now. And this time, let's look at a profile just for kicks. It won't take but a minute. And we can see his profile. We can go in, and because he's part of that XRM group, he can actually edit those kind of things. It's a little tricky to do it, but there is a way that he can go in through the back door here, say edit item. And if you recall, we made it so that only the site admin could edit. So even trying the back way, he can't do this. You have to be the site admin, and we'll show that at the very end, because we made it that only the owner could edit these capabilities, the site admin. So let's go back into accounts. He sees 2, as you would expect. Let's go to account 2. And let's see if we can assign a profile to this, because remember, he's part of that special group. So there it is there. Now I'm going to save this. And now I want to come in. It's got this security profile. Now sort of the big test, right? I'm going to log out of this and come back in as Brad. And what we should see is that Brad can't see anything. He should not be able to because he does not have permissions. And Alan's gone in because he has the rights to that XRM permissions owners group to assign permissions. So we're finishing up here. I'll close that. And then I'll talk about the implications of all this. So the last step in our demo will be to go in as Brad and see what he can see. So coming in here, it'll be just a minute. And I'll log in now as Brad S, and we'll see what he can see. And you would expect that Diane and Amy would have the similar capabilities that they had. We saw the first time when they logged in on items with the LNS security profile. And let's go here real quick. Oh. And let's log in with the proper credentials this time. Okay, so now Brad's come in to the site. Remember, he's still a member. He can get in there. And now we're going to go into the app, and let's see what accounts Brad can see now. So I go to Accounts, and guess what? He can't see any accounts. But he can still go ahead and create an account because he's a member, but he cannot apply a profile. So it's a very powerful capability that we've just demonstrated here. And to go over the implications, what this means is that you can set up very granular permissions and security on contacts, opportunities, and accounts. And all of the documents and notes and tasks that go along with each of those also inherits that permission. Also, when you have an account and you create an opportunity, it picks up the permission of the account, the security profile. But you can override that too. And you can also override at any time if you're one of the XRM permission owners. So you can set up a lot of very interesting things now with this profile and security capability. You can do things like set up regions, set up sales teams, set up multiple companies in the same instance of SideKick. You can set up different divisions or different groups of people based on product lines. And it's all supported within the security profile. It's just how you set it up. Basically what you'll do is you'll set up different profiles and have an edit and a read group in each of those, and then you'll apply the appropriate profile so that only those people who've been given rights can see the account, the contact, or the opportunity, and all the tasks and notes and documents associated with them. And this will give you tremendous scalability and also help you keep salespeople focused on items they should be working on. Now, if you don't assign a permission, as you saw earlier, then everybody can see it and edit it, but they can't assign a permission. Only people with the XRM permission owners can lock everybody out by assigning a certain profile. So I hope you found this interesting. It's a very powerful capability, very advanced. We added it in the latest version in this Enterprise Edition, that and the ability to support localization, and we showed that in the first video with a Japanese interface. So the big change in this release has been the addition of security profiles and also the ability to support localized versions and localized languages in the interface and the whole user interface around it. So this is Dave Chenault with Skylight Systems. I hope you enjoyed these videos. They gave you a great insight into the new capabilities in SideKick365 xRM Enterprise. And you know, it's right now priced at a monthly scheme. We may change that, but check it out in the marketplace. Download a demo today and give us a call if you have any questions. I hope you enjoyed this video.